Let us pray. Faithful Father, we give you thanks once again today. Thank you for a successful weekend. Thank you for a new week. Appreciate you, Lord, this morning for this opportunity. Granted your servants again to come together to do state business. We ask, O God, that your presence will be here to guide, to encourage, and to grant every resource that is necessary for excellence. And will help them to the very end. Thank you for hearing us in Jesus' name. Amen. We shall begin meditate on Matthew chapter 16, from verse 13 to 16. When Jesus came into the region of Philippi, he asked his disciples, saying, "Who do men say that I, the Son of Man, am?" And so they say, some say John the Baptist, some Elijah, and others Jeremiah, or one of the prophets. And he said unto them, "But who do you say that I am?" Simon Peter answered and said, "You are the Christ, the Son of the living God." Just want to share briefly this morning on having a quick feedback on yourself. Jesus is one of the greatest leaders that the world has ever produced, and at this point he decided to check to find out what was the public opinion about him. And when he asked the disciples, gave him a good report, because all the things they were saying, they were positive. Then he asked them what they perceived him to be. And they also got it right, that he was the Christ, the Son of the living God. Every man holding public office needs to subject himself to public opinion. Even though we are not ruled by public opinion, it helps you to adjust. When a critique of your life and work is objective, and you listen to it, where there's need for adjustment, you make those adjustments. And sometimes people criticize you out of lack of information, not from an informed position. And you know that you need to provide adequate, correct information, and that will help them. And so this morning, just want to pray that we look back at ourselves and see what the others are thinking about or perceive us to be. And those of us who are around power, brokers, you need to also be courageous to tell the right thing. Because sometimes we're sycophantic and we don't help the people that God has placed us around them. And I pray that God will help us, because excellence is the target. We believe that God will help you to excel in Jesus' name. Our Father, I want to thank you, oh God, this morning for this short exhortation. As oh God, as we look back at ourselves, we will see objectively where we need to make relevant adjustments so that you help us to excel and to serve the people better. Thank you for hearing us in Jesus' name.
Welcome to today's sitting. Majority leader, what is on order to
My name remains Honorable Pharmacist Thomas Gary, by the grace of God and the will of the people, the majority leader. On the order paper today, the first item is prayers, which has actually been done. The second item is adoption of votes and proceedings of Thursday, 18th September 2025. Then the third item is announcements. Then, on the permission of the Speaker, there is also a motion. A motion of urgent public importance condemning the killing of security personnel around Agbu Center in Bachula, Maire Council Ward of Kassanala Local Government area by suspected armed herdsmen, and the need to immediately establish a security post in the area to prevent further attacks. This motion is going to be taken, sponsored by Right Honorable Jonathan Agbili, Honorable Member representing Kassanala East constituency. After that, we're going to have presentation of reports. The report of the House Study Committee on Rules and Business on HB 60. That is a bill for a law to encourage public complaints and to prescribe punishment for corrupt practices and related offences, and to establish BENUE Public Complaints and Anti-Corruption Commission 2025. That bill will be taken by the Honorable Majority Leader, Honorable Pharmacist Thomas Bnshoa, as the Chairman of the Committee. Mr. Speaker, those are the items that we have on the order to budget.
The votes and proceedings of Thursday, 18 September 2025. Let's open to go to page 1. Page 3. Page 4. I have okay. Honorable Elder, will take the lead.
Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues, my name is Honorable Shepi Abuazi, and represent a very good people for the state constituency. Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues, I don't know whether it is a mistake. What you read for us here the other time is like it has been changed. And we're all here. I'm supposed to be in a higher decision. Unfortunately, what I'm seeing is a different thing.
Okay, thank you. I will take the notice on discrepancies here on item number 7 on the votes and proceedings. So therefore, apart from the business and rule committee, and the agricultural and mineral and natural resources committee, which has a very important assignment for this house, the other committee have been stepped down. They have been stepped down, apart from rules and business and agriculture, which has very important assignment for this house.
The Honorable Speaker, distinguished colleagues, I remain Honorable Pharmacist Thomas Bnshoa, represent the good people of Plenary West, the Honorable Majority Leader of the 10th Assembly. Having gone through the votes and proceedings of last sitting, we have moved that it should be adopted as the working document of this House.
Honorable Speaker, Honorable Member, the principal officers of the 10th Assembly, I second that the motion moved by the Majority Leader that the vote and proceeding of the 18th of September will be adopted as the working document of this House. I so second. Thank you.
Those in favor that the votes and proceedings of Thursday, 18 September 2025, item 1 to 6, then to 8, be adopted as the working document of this House. Say aye. I say aye. Those against say nay. Apart from Agriculture and Natural Resources Committee, Business and Road Committee, the rest of the committee have been stepped down, and the rest of the items on the votes and procedure have been adopted as the working documents of this honorable house.
Arise with a heavy heart to present a motion of urgent public importance condemning the killings of security personnel around Agu Center in Matura, Mere Council, Board of Katsina local government area, as suspected armed headers, and the need to immediately establish a security post in the area to prevent further attacks. The House notes that Katsina local government area has continued to experience serious attacks by Fulani herdsmen spanning across various council wards, with many people already killed, while farmlands and properties worth billions of naira destroyed by the assailants. The situation has become more scary, as these herdsmen have now occupied parts of the local government area, particularly in Matura Mere Council Ward, where they conveniently launch mayhem and innocent citizens, especially the farmers, from their hideouts. Further notes, on Friday, 19 September 2025, these militia, who are formidable and use sophisticated weapons, ambush and kill many security personnel, while others were adopted during a joint military clearance operation around the Agu Center. Concerned that the attack is coming barely a month after this militia attacked St. Paul's Parish, Ayetwa, within the same community on the 10th of August 2025, and destroyed several facilities, including the parish church, parish secretariat, further residence, father's residence, vehicles, and pastoral resources, thereby making residents to flee the area. Recall that when the attacks occurred at St. Paul's Catholic Church, I moved a motion here urging the House to call on the government to establish a security post to protect all security personnel to the affected community, as well as construct the road from Bishop to Makiev through Agu Center. Worried that the dimension these killings are taking now, if nothing is urgently done to stop it, the situation may escalate to more communities in Katsina local government area and entire Sankara and beyond. Further worried, if armed security personnel are gruesomely murdered in such a manner, what then is the fate of our defenseless citizens? Results. 1. That the BENUE State House of Assembly strongly condemned the killings of the security personnel in the community. 2. That the House commiserates with the security agencies that lost personnel during the Distillery Act, as well as families of the deceased personnel. 3. That the House commend efforts taken so far by the BENUE State government to address the security challenge in Katsina local government, especially the deployment of a joint militia operation. 4. That the House restates its call on the state government to ensure that a formidable security post established in the community immediately, while security agencies should also provide adequate personnel to prevent further attacks and give residents confidence of their safety. Last, that the House also restates its call on the BENUE State government to complete the construction of the road from Bishop and Makiev through Agu Center to enhance smooth human and vehicular movement for the people and security personnel. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Shima.
Honorable colleagues, I rise to second. My name is Honorable Shimawa Emmanuel Tena from Kiam State Constituency, Onitsha 2. I rise to second the motion raised by my elder brother, Honorable Agbite. Mr. Speaker, you will recall that over time, in the past 9 years and today, we have been facing this insecurities across the states. Even in your own constituency, we heard of a recent event. This has been happening across Anglo axis, Okom, Kasnala, and Logo. And if you recall, while growing up as a child, and even today, I know that that particular axis is the economic hub of Benue State. And now these insecurities seem to have killed everything regarding to that effect. I know that the present government, headed by Governor Heisen, earlier has been trying its best to curb this menace across the states. They have been trying, but my encouragement will be that they should still try harder. Insecurity is a very, very serious issue that involves Nigeria across the divide. Go to Plateau State, Borno State, and others. Benue State is not an exception. So I will encourage the governor, if he can get the attention of the president, to get more armory to curb this menace. A lot of more effort needs to be put to this end. And by saying this, I so second. Thank you.
In the community. Those in favor of the result say aye. Aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Result 2. That the House commensurate with the security agencies that lost personnel during the dastardly act, as well as families of the deceased personnel. Those in favor of this result say aye. Aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. That the House commends effort taken so far by the Benue State government to address the security challenge in Katsina, especially the deployment of a joint military operation. Those in favor of this result 3 say aye. Aye. Right Honorable Agum and Right Honorable Mike Awodi. Those in favor of this result say aye. Aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Result 4. That the House will restate the call on the state government to ensure that a formidable security post is established in the community immediately, while security agencies should also provide adequate personnel to prevent further attacks and give residents confidence of their safety. Those in favor of this result say aye. Aye. Those in favor of this result say aye. Aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The last result. That the House also restates its call on the Benue State government to complete the construction of roads from Bnshoa to Baki to Agbo Center to enhance smooth human and vehicular movement for the people and security personnel. Those in favor of this result say aye. Aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Majority leader.
A wonderful job done. On the order paper, item number 4 is a presentation of report and the report of the House Standing Committee on Rules and Business on HB 60, a bill for a law to encourage public complaints and to prescribe punishment for corrupt practices and related offences, as to establish Benue Public Complaints and Anti-Corruption Commission 2025. The bill is going to be led by the chairman of the committee, Honorable Pharmacist Sir Thomas Dugeri, Majority Leader.
of the House Standing Committee on Business and Rules and Business Committee, HB 60, a bill for law to encourage public complaint and to prescribe penalty punishment for corrupt practices and related offences, and to establish BENUE Public Complaints and Anti-Corruption Commission 2025. Those in favor of this, the heading of this report, and that it should be read clause by clause, say aye. Aye. Those against, say no.
Considering the importance of this report and the importance of the bill, may I move that the Honourable Speaker resolve to Committee of 4 so that we can give it a accelerated hearing to ensure passage of this bill.
Mr. Speaker, distinguished member, I still remain at Right Honorable Moro. I speak on behalf of the good people of our State constituency in this chamber and the minority leader. I second the motion moved by the majority leader. The Speaker should resume as the chairman of the Committee of 4. I so second. Thank you.
Those in favor that this House resolve into Committee of 4, say aye. Aye. Those against, say nay. Guys.
Thomas, I represent the good people of Kwande West and the Honorable Majority Leader. Mr. Chairman, this is the report of the House Standing Committee on Rules and Business on HB 60, which is a bill for a law to encourage public complaints and to prescribe punishment for corrupt practices and related offences, and to establish BENUE Complaints and Anti-Corruption Commission 2025. The composition of the committee: Honorable Pharmacist Sir Thomas Dugeri, the chairman, the majority leader. Honorable Abraham Jabi, PhD, is a member, is a deputy majority leader. Right Honorable Abu Moro is a member, is a minority leader. Right Honorable Cephas Diako is a deputy minority leader, is a member. Honorable Siri Ikon is a majority whip, is also a member of the committee. Honorable Simon Gabo is a deputy majority whip, is a member of the committee. Honorable Samuel Ejiji, member of the committee, is a minority whip. Honorable Moses Ebodo, deputy minority whip, is also a member of the committee. Danny Agemi is the committee clerk or the committee secretary. Mr. Chairman, I beg your leave to go straight to the findings. At the end of the public hearing, the following findings emerged. There's section 11A and 11B, section 40, section 44.1, section 45, subsection 3, section 52, subsection 2, section 55, and section 56, subsection 3 need to be reworked. That the title of the bill be shortened for easier understanding. Those were the findings on page 4. Just look at page 4, item 7. Page 4, item 7. Page 4. The first page 4, not for the lecture. So as you know, Annexure A is a draft bill that was sent and how it was worked. Annexure B is a clean copy that we're going to consider clause by clause. Is that clear? So, Mr. Chairman, it's within your payroll to go ahead with the recommendations. Thank you, Media.
Thank you, Honorable Gabo.
Mr. Chairman, honorable colleagues, at the course of this work, we came to understand that there are some other departments that need to be inserted in this wonderful bill that were not inserted at initial. And having been at the committee as a committee, we cannot just go on our own and insert that without referring back to the House. So here are some of the departments that we suggested that should be added in the bill. They say a law to make we have the title. We now are joined by the addition of new clause 6 and clause 8 as follows. 6.1. So that I can have this. Let's get this to members. Okay, let me read it so that I can send this to members too. Clause 6. 1. They shall be established in a commission the following department which shall be headed by directors. In the whole of the bill, you don't see anything like directors in the whole of the bill. Then we have A, Department of Citizens' Rights, B, Department of Anti-Corruption, and C, Department of Assets Monitoring and Recovery. 2. Subject to provision of this law, the Commission shall establish other departments as it may deem it fit and make such standing orders to regulate the operation of such departments. 8. The members and staff of the Commission shall maintain secrecy in respect of matters before them by reason of source or contact. However, a member may in any report made disclose such matters as it ought to be disclosed in order to establish grounds for conclusion and recommendation. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yes. From Secretary Thomas.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Yeah, I think what the honorable member has quoted of is very apt. It's very German. When you have a law like this, it's always good to specify some key directorate or departments, and then you give it the liberty to set up any other department that they may deem they may wish. So I think what he has said is very important, and also what he has mentioned about confidentiality clause is also very important. There is confidentiality clause in the law, but it is for the staff. So it is supposed to that clause is supposed to be applicable to the members of the commission. That is the members that the government may appoint to be running the commission. That confidentiality clause should be applicable to them. So I think it's something that we need to be set. Thank you.
Thank you, the majority leader. Having gone through the bill and made some amendments, we are going to the Mr. B to read it clause by clause, which is the clean copy of it. And we are starting with the page that Honorable Gabo, you read up now. So I will be reading the clause by marginal notes. That Department of the Commission. Department of the Commission. This is the one I have. This one has not been made available to members. It will be inserted in the bill. That there shall be established in the Commission the following department, which shall be headed by directors. That's 1A, B, C. Those in favor of this clause say aye.
Aye.
Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Confidentiality. That is 8. Members and staff of the commission shall maintain secrecy in respect of matters before them by reason of source or contact. However, a member may, in any report, may disclose such matters as it ought to be disclosed in order to establish ground for conclusion and recommendation. Those in favor of this clause say aye.
Aye.
Those against say nay. The ayes have it. So we are starting from 1. Short title and commencement, which has been corrected. Those in favor of this say aye.
Aye.
Those against say nay. The ayes have it. So you can go to page. That short title and commencement is starting from part 1, that preliminary, to that 6. The 6 that was not read. If you go to page 6, that's where it stopped, it ended. It ended on page 6. So, are you there?
Yes.
So now, we are starting again another clause. Read the marginal note. Establishment of the Public Complaint Commission. On page 6. Those in favor of this clause say aye.
Aye.
Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Still on page 6. Common seal. That the commission shall be a body corporate with perpetual succession and a common seal. May sue and be sued in each corporate name and may, for the purposes of each functions, acquire, hold, or dispose of property, whether movable or immovable. Those in favor of this clause say aye.
Aye.
Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Still on page 6. Membership of the commission. From page 6, page 7, keep talking about membership of the commission. Then to page 8, we stop at E. Those in favor of this clause say aye.
Aye.
Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Still on page 8. Director of assets. Okay, declaration of assets. Those in favor of this clause say aye.
Aye.
Those against say no. The ayes have it. Hold office for a period of 4 years and may be reappointed for another 4 years only. Those in favor of this clause say aye.
Aye.
Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Removal of the members. Removal of the members is on G to what? Removal of members. I don't understand why it's here. Referring to this. Removal of members. Members shall hold office for a period of 4 years and may be reappointed for another 4 years only. Notwithstanding the provision of section 5 and 5 of 5 and 6 of this, the chairman and any member of the commission at any at any given time may be removed by the governor, subject to confirmation by the two-thirds majority of members of the House. Is this clause taken? A member of the commission shall cease to hold office, that is, resignation from commission. A member of the commission shall cease to hold office if he resigns his appointment as a member of the commission by a written notice. Is this clause taken? Investigation by the governor. The governor shall within 7 days after his objection to the resignation of any member of the commission take a decision as to whether or not to investigate such a member, where the governor exercises his powers under section 5 sub 9 A to investigate, he shall officially inform the chief judge of the state, who shall set up an investigation committee of no less than 5 members, headed by, go to page 10, headed by a retired High Court judge of repute. 1. 2. A chartered accountant, a lawyer of no less than 10 years for score. 3. A serving or retired civil servant on the rank of permanent secretary. 4. A professor or repute. C. The investigation shall not exceed 6 weeks from the date of the inauguration of the investigation committee, and the report of the committee shall be submitted to the chief judge, who shall hand over the said report with the recommendations to the governor. D. The governor shall, where the members of the commission is indicted for any offense by the investigation committee under this law or any other state law, release such a member of his function and direct the Attorney General of the state to prosecute such a member. Is this clause taken? Condition of appointment. Members of the commission shall hold office on such terms and conditions as may be specified in their instruments or appointments. Is this clause taken? Oath of office. A member of the commission shall, before assuming the duties of his office, his or her office, subscribe to the oath of office for impartiality, neutrality, and diligence. Is this clause taken? Commission shall have the power appointment of staff and remuneration. The commission shall have the power to appoint, dismiss, and exercise disciplinary control over its staff, and for this purpose shall prescribe its own rules and regulations. 2. The commission shall have power to appoint, designate, and deploy such members and category of staff and officers which, in the opinion of the commission, shall be required to assist it in the discharge of all or any of its functions, and shall have power to pay persons so employed such remuneration, including allowances, in accordance with the instrument of appointment. 3. The tenure of office and condition of service of the staff of the commission shall, subject to the provision of this law, be determined by the commission. There shall be appointed such members of investigators for the commission as may be necessary for the purpose of executing the provision of this law. Honorable Chabi and others, is this taken? Pension reform law. The Benue State Pension Reform Law shall be applicable to the staff of the commission. Is this clause taken? Secretary of the Commission. There shall be a secretary to the Commission who shall be appointed by the government. The secretary shall be responsible for general administration and control of staff and records of the Commission and the general administration and control of the staff of the Commission. Keeping the seal and record of the Commission. Is this clause taken? Production of identification cards. An officer of the Commission, when discharging the duties of his office, shall on demand declare his office and produce the person against whom he is acting or from whom he seeks any information. Evidence of his identity issued by the Commission. Is this clause taken? Quorum. The chairman and any 4 members of the Commission representing at least 2 geopolitical zones shall constitute a quorum for meetings. Is this clause taken? Such powers and immunities of officers of the Commission. Subject to the provision of this law, and officers of the Commission, when investigating any matter, shall constitute an offense under this law, shall have all the powers and immunities of police officers under the Police Act and any other laws conferring power on the police or impairing and protecting law enforcement agents. Is this clause taken? Powers of the Commission. Where a complaint is received or reasonable grounds exist to suspecting that a person has conspired to commit or attempted to commit or has committed an offense or abuse of office under this law, the Commission shall 1. A, B, C, D. Is this clause taken? Honorable Dampo, is this clause taken? Standing orders. The Commission may issue administrative orders to be called standing orders, which shall conform to the provision of the general control, training, duties, responsibilities of officers of the Commission, and for such other matter as may be necessary or expedient for the good administration of the Commission and to ensure the efficient and effective functioning of the Commission. The Commission may establish 1 or more branches in each geopolitical zone of the state to carry out its functions under this law. There may be in each geopolitical zone of the state a zonal public complaint anti-corruption commission. In this clause taken. Gratification by an official. A person who corruptly asks for, receive or obtains any property or benefit of any kind for himself or for any other person, or agrees or attempts to receive or obtain money, property or benefit of any kind for himself or for any other person on account of anything already done or omitted to be done, or for any favor or disfavor already shown to any person by himself in the discharge of his official duties or in declaration or in relation to any matter connected with the functions, affairs or business of a government department or a corporate body or other organization or institution in which he is serving as an official, or anything to be afterward done or committed to be done in favor or disfavor to any person by himself in the discharge of his official duties or in relation of such matter as foreseen, is guilty of offense of official corruption and is liable on conviction to imprisonment for 5 years. 2, A and B. C. This clause taking. Corrupt offers to public offices. A person shall corrupt A, B, C to F, to page 17 on the okay, let me read this one. A to F, A to E. Is that clause taking? If any person, if any proceedings for an offense under this section, it is proved that any property or benefit of any kind or promise therefore was given to a public officer or some other person at the offense of public officer. At the assistance, this Martin is was given to a public officer or some other persons as the instance of a public officer. Be a person A, B, C in this clause taking. Corrupt demands by persons. A person who A asks for A1, A2, then the commissioner is guilty of an offense or official corruption and on conviction be liable to imprisonment for 5 years. Is this clause taken? No more advice. Fraudulent accusation of property. That's 17. 17 taking. 18. Deliberate frustration of investigation by the commission. Let me read this one. A person who with the intention to defraud or conceal a crime or frustrate the commission in its investigation of any suspected crime, a corruption under this law or any other law. We should hear it clearly. 1. Mutilate, alters, destroy, or falsifies any document, book, valuable security, account, computer system, diskette, computer printout, or any electronic device which belongs to or is in the possession of the employer or has been received by him on account of his employment or entry device is privy to any such act. Be made or is privy to making any false entry in any such document, book, account, or electronic record. Or C. Omit or is privy to omitting any material particular from any such document, book, accounts, or electronic record is guilty of the following, and on conviction shall be liable for 5 years in prison. In this clause, clearly taking. Conviction shall be liable to 3 years imprisonment or a fine of not less than 500,000 naira. Is this one too small or big? I want you to amend this. Is it too much or too small? Okay, this one taking. Bribery of public officers. 21. 21 is 21 taking. But let me add, is guilty of an offense and on conviction shall be liable to 3 years imprisonment or fine of 500,000 naira. 500 is too small. In this one taking. Because this law is talking about you pay 500,000, then you offset free.
After serving your 3 years term, is 3 years imprisonment. No.
It's talking about here. If you hear it, is guilty of an offense and on conviction shall be liable to 3 years imprisonment or
It's okay. It's okay. It's
okay. 22. Using office or position for gratification. 22. Is 22 taking? Forfeiture of gratification and other penalties. 23. Is 23 taking? Bribery in relation to action. This one, you know, I have interest on this bribery. But is this clause taken? Honorable Gabo? Go to the next page. 25. Bribery for giving assistance etc. in regard to contracts. This one, I want to read it clearly because most people believe that once you give something, they will give you something. So hear this, that it is an offense in many states. That one, a person who without lawful authority or reasonable excuse offers an advantage to a public servant as an inducement to or reward for or otherwise on account of such public servant giving assistance or using influence in or having given assistance or use influences in A. The promotion, execution or procurement of any contract with a public body for the performance of any work, provision of any service, the doing of anything or the supply of any article, material or assistance, or any subcontract to perform any work, provide any article, materials or substance required to be performed, provided, done or supply under any contract with a public body. 2. A public servant who solicits or accepts any advantage as a inducement to or reward for otherwise on account of his giving assistance or using influence in or having given assistance or use influence in A. The promotion, execution or procurement or payment of the price, consideration, other monies stipulated or otherwise provided for in any contract or subcontract as is referred to in subsection 1 of this section shall be guilty of an offense. A public officer who in the course of his official duties inflate the price of any goods or service above the prevailing market price or provisional standard is guilty of an offense under this law. Recall the BENUE, Honorable Gabo and Jabin. No, I'm making reference to something. This 3A, recall your motion, your deliberation here about BENUE SAC. I don't want to go further, but recall. So this clause is highly against it. Should I repeat it? Public officer who is in the course of his official duties inflate the price of any goods or service above the prevailing market price or professional standard is guilty of an offense under this law and liable on conviction to imprisonment for a term of 7 years, term of the 7 years. This one is not 3 years. 7 years and a fine of 2 million naira. Is this clause taken?
No.
A person or public officer.
2 million is too high.
I am coming. I'm not done with the course yet.
Okay.
Danko, are you an accomplice? A person or public officer who commit an offence under subsection 1 or 2 of this section shall, on conviction, be liable to imprisonment for a term of 7 years or a fine of 2,500,000 naira. Take, Mr. Clark, take note. It's 2,500,000. Those, is this clause taken? Danko, what's the observation?
It's too high.
No. This clause.
You people are saying it's not too high. Yeah. But let's agree. If you agree, fine.
This clause is
very technical.
Unanimously taken. 26. Duty to report bribery transactions. 26. Go to page 25. Is this clause taken? Dealing with using, holding, receiving, or concealing gratification. 27 is clause 37 taken. 28. Making false or misleading statements to the commission. 28 is on page 25. Also on page 26 is clause 28 taken. Bribery for giving assistance, etc. in regard to contracts. 29, is it taken? 29 is on page 26 and 27. And the fine is on 28. The fine is also 7 years or a fine of 1 million naira. Is it taken? Attempt. Which one is this? Okay, attempt, conspiracy, abetment, punishable as offense. Clause 30. Taking. Prosecution in the name of the Attorney General is on clause 31. But read here this. 31. Prosecution of offense under this law shall be initiated in the name of the Attorney General. So, Mr. Clark, this the marginal note, there's an error there. Prosecution in the name, not in the name. Prosecution of an offense under this law shall be initiated in the name of the Attorney General of the state, and where such offense is provided for under any law prohibiting bribery, corruption, fraud, or any other related offense, the procedure under such law shall be adopted. It is clause taken. Manner of report to the commission. 31, 32. Is clause 32 taken? Is clause 32 taken? Blessed honor. Is this clause taken? Investigation investigation of officers of offences and in an eyeglass.
Yes. Very important.
Investigation of offences. 33. An officer of the Commission investigating an offence under this law shall comply with the provision of the Police Act and or any other law regulating the obtaining of statements, investigation on evidence. This clause taken. Summons against suspects. Clause 34. This clause taken. Name of whistleblowers. Let me read these whistleblowers so that some people, if they are interested, for the purpose of lodging a complaint to the commission, whether orally or in writing, it shall not be necessary where the report is made by a whistleblower to state the name of the whistleblower. The people who track this bill are wicked. But this clause taking. Summons against suspects is clause 36. Honorable Dambo.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Is in respect to this name of whistleblower. I think there's a policy, whistleblower policy in Nigeria. Is it not better in doing this law we adapt the policy to strengthen the position of this law instead of just scrapping something that the name should not be? I think we should look at that. We should look at the.
Even that one too. Their names are not mentioned.
Okay.
Their names are not mentioned.
Okay, so thank you.
Clause 36. Someone against suspect. If clause 36 taken. Service or someone. 37 is clause 37 taken. Substituted service. Okay, we don't have a lawyer in the house today. You know, lawyers used to argue about substituted service. When Gabo was taken to court, he tried to audit service.
No, but I was always there, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, so here is Gabo. Where the person summoned by the commission is in the service of government, the commission may deliver the summons in duplicate to the head of the department in which such person is employed for the purpose of it being served on that person, and such officer shall thereupon cause the summons to be served on the person. Is this clause taken? Enforcement as evidence of service. Is this clause also taken? Clause 40. Offense to the bailable. That is bailable offense.
Yes.
An offense under this law shall be bailable offense for the purpose of the State Administration of Criminal Justice Law 2019 and the Penal Code Law. A person who arrested under this law may be released from the custody on his executing a bond with sureties as an officer of the commission may require. This clause has 3, 1 to 4, 1 to 5. Is this clause taken? Page 38, clause 41. Prohibition of dealing with property outside BENUE State. Here, this one, Abraham Jadi, PhD. Where the commission has evidence that any property is the subject matter of an offense under this law or was used in the commission of an offense, and such property is held or deposited outside BENUE State, the commission may make an application by way of affidavit to a judge of the High Court for an offer prohibiting the person by whom the property is held or with whom it is deposited from dealing with the property. In any prosecution for an offense under this law, the court shall make an order for the forfeiture of any property which is provided to the subject matter of offense or has been used in the commission of the offense where the offense is proved against the defendant, or the defendant is not the true and lawful owner of such property, or no other person is entitled to the property as a purchaser in good faith for valuable consideration. Where the offense is provided against the defendant or the property referred to in section 1 of this section has been disposed of or cannot be traced, the court shall order the defendant to pay a penalty, a sum which is equivalent to the amount of the gratification or in the opinion of the court, the value of the gratification received by the defendant, and any such penalty shall be recoverable as a fine. Honorable Chagi and others, is this clear and taken?
Take it.
Presumption in certain offenses, etc. Clause 43. If this one taken. 44. Public evidence of corroboration. Is this clause taken? Admissibility of certificates issued by the principal employer. Clause 45. Is this clause taken? Clause 46. Joinder of offenses. Is this clause taken? It's on page 37. Certificate of indemnity in favor of full disclosure. Clause 47. Is this clause taken? Procedure. Protection of informants and information. 48. Where any complaint made by any officer of the commission states that the complaint is made in consequence of information referred to in the complaint and the identity of the person from whom such information is received shall be secret between the officer who made the complaint and the person who gave the information. The identity of the person who gave the information and all other circumstances relating to the information, including the place where it was given, shall not be disclosed or be ordered or required to be disclosed in public, but only to the trial judge and defense lawyer in attendance in any civil, criminal, or other proceedings in any court or tribunal. In this clause has also 1, 2, 3. Is it 13? Protection of officers of the commission. Is this clause 13? Is clause 49. Clause 50. Liability for offenses outside BENUE State. Provision of this law shall apply outside BENUE State. Where an offense under law is committed in any place outside BENUE State by any citizen or resident of BENUE State, he may be dealt with in respect of such offense as if it was committed at any place in BENUE State. Right, Honorable Sefas Jacob. Is this clause clearly taken? If you're not clear, hear it. Any proceedings against person under this law for a specific offense committed in BENUE State shall bar any further proceedings for that name offense for that same offense under any law. The Commission shall have the power to engage the services of local or international institutions, bodies or persons possessing special knowledge or skill on tracing of persons, properties, and monies. With this clause taken, that is, if you do any offense and went to Abuja or Kano or Bayelsa or you go to Ikoyi, if you go to London or Abidjan, they will follow you.
Rwanda.
Or if you decide to go to Kigali. Limitation or provision of this law. This clause 51 taking. But let me read the clause. Where any provision of this law is similar or contrary in any material particular to the provision of any other law, the provision of that law with respect to investigation and prosecution shall prevail. For 52, conviction without specific penalty. A person convicted for an offense under this law for which no penalty is specifically provided shall be liable to a fine not exceeding 50,000 naira or to imprisonment for a term not exceeding 3 months or both. This taking powers of police officers under this law. 53, this taking. 54, powers of the commission to investigate ill-gotten wealth. 54, the commission shall have the power to investigate the source or sources of wealth of any person under investigation by the commission who is a citizen or a resident of the state, whether a public servant or not, and for this purpose, the commission shall 1. Demand any bank or financial institution to furnish her with the account details of financial transaction and statement of account of such person. Analyze such account details or financial transaction and statement referred to in section 1 above, and determine whether to prosecute such person. In this clause clearly understood and taken.
Mr. Chairman,
If you bring your statement to account,
Page 55, clause 55, imprisonment. A person charged for an offense under section 54, this law shall on conviction be liable to 3 years imprisonment, or imprisoned for 3 years, or a fine of 300,000 naira, and shall in addition forfeit the portion of the unexplained wealth, whether in cash or property, to the state government. This 3,000 is too small.
it's too small.
The 3,000 is too small. 300,000 is too small.
But, Mr. Chairman, sir.
That way you are not saying that it's not law. Are you stammering now?
Those is this clause 55 taken unanimously by this honorable house? Is this clause unanimously taken by this house?
No, it's not taken.
It's not taken.
It's not
The clause is taken. Jurisdiction with respect, jurisdiction, clause 56. Jurisdiction with respect to offences under this law is vested in the High Court of the state. In this clause 56 taken. House, is this clause taken? Clause 57. Right of appeal. Honor, listen well. If you are not comfortable with clause 54 or clause 55, then you have right of appeal. A person convicted for an offense under this law shall have and exercise any or such right or appeal as conferred by the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. In this clause, unanimously taken, that once you are convicted, you can also appeal. It is taken.
Don't forget that the appeal has no limitation. It can go to Supreme Court.
And appeal is appeal.
Yes.
Thank you, honorable members.
There's only no escape route.
May I move that the chairman move back gently to his seat as the Honorable Speaker of the Distinguished Assembly. I so move.
I still remain Honorable Abumbo James. I second accordingly.
Those in favor that Mr. Chairman should move back to the seat and report progress, you say aye.
Aye.
Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Honorable colleagues, good afternoon, honorable colleagues. A while ago, a bill to law to encourage public complaints and to prescribe punishment for corrupt practices and related offences and to establish BENUE public complaint and anti-corruption commission was taken clause by clause from clause 1 to 56 with all correction needs. So is that what happened at the committee of whole?
Yes.
Mr. Clark, read the bill for the third time on this passage.
The Right Honorable Speaker, distinguished honorable members, the Benue State Public Complaints and Anti-Corruption Commission Law 2025. Third reading.
In order to make provision for the establishment of the Benue State Public Complaint and Anti-Corruption Commission and other matters related therewith, is therefore passed into the law and become effective on the day of assent.
Having exhausted all the items on the order paper, I want to move that the House adjourn till Tuesday next week, that is 30th September 2025.
Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I rise to second the motion moved by Majority Leader of the House who are joined to reconvene on Tuesday, 30th of September 2025 as so second.
Those in favor that this honorable House adjourn to reconvene on Tuesday, the 30th of September at 10 a.m. prompt, say aye.
Aye.
Those against say nay. This House will reconvene on Tuesday, 30th of September 2025 at 10 a.m. prompt.